pick on people.
Please write down through the chat. Might be a good idea, I think.
Yes, students, I'd love to know what you guys want to study so I can really help you. You're welcome to unmute yourself and tell me, or you can put it in the chat. I can already see someone putting in the chat, which is brilliant. Performing arts, that's wonderful. Let's see. Hi, Yuki. So acting and performance, that's fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
So why do you want to do acting?
Sorry?
Why are you interested in acting?
First of all, when I was, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old, I started to act on stage.
Cool.
Yeah, so since then, I'm interested in performing in front of people.
Awesome.
So, thank you.
You like stage acting more than
stage
TV acting. Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. Does anybody else want to tell me what they're interested in studying? Or are you guys all being very shy today? I promise I won't pick on you. Sorry, I don't know what that noise is. Okay, all right, fab. Music management, awesome. Yes, we started a music management course last year, and I didn't think it would be popular at all, but it's been incredibly popular and we've had huge amounts of students applying for it. It's really interesting, I think, and huge amounts of international students as well, because obviously there's such a diversity of music around the world, and London is, you know, we are a great centre for music, so it's a great place to come and do it. But yeah, it's okay. So I'm going to guess some of you are maybe fine art, a few different kinds of programs. I will introduce UCA to you guys today. So I'm going to talk about a few different things that we do. As we go through, you guys are more than welcome to ask me any questions, pop them on the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask out loud. It's not impolite. I'm more than happy to answer questions as we go through. Okay, all right. But just to check, is everyone okay? Are you guys all staying healthy and you're all happy and you're okay?
Yeah. Before that, could you rename to the English name? Todokoro-san. Togoro-san. できる?
Sorry, what we're doing?
Yeah, I'm asking to rename.
Ah, okay. You don't have to. Honestly, I don't worry. Your names are your names. If you want to change it to the English version, that's fine. Yeah. But please don't feel like you need to.
She will come back, I think.
Okay.
Hi. Haida-chan ga graphic design.
Graphic design, oh, fabulous. Okay, so, I mean, graphic design, I'll show you in a second, but graphic design is a really interesting subject. I think people think it's only one thing a lot of the time, but UCA actually we have 3 different graphic design undergraduate courses because there is such variety in what you can do. And a lot of the time people think graphic design is just commercial, whereas the reality is there's a lot of fine art within graphic design. Of course, commercial work is really important, but then you also have, you know, is your graphic design focused on typography, or is your graphic design to be used within an artistic or commercial setting? So we have the 3 different graphic design courses. They're very similar, but they do have different outcomes at the end of it. So we want our guys to come out with a different specialism at the end of it. One of the good things, probably one of the only good things about the pandemic, is that we have, as a university, it forced us to put all of our end of year shows online. So you can see all the work that our students have done for their final projects on our website. And you can really see that level of professional portfolio that they graduate with. So that's probably the only good thing to come out of this for us. Small victories. And we've got another student who wants acting and drama. That's awesome. You know, UCA, we tend to be quite focused on for acting and drama. We focus on 2 sort of aspects. We tend to do a lot of theatre and performance. We tend to do a lot of theatre and performance, and then we also do a lot of like new media acting. So we do a lot of acting for things like social media. So how would you be it sounds silly, but it's important. How would you be a presenter on YouTube? How do you create content with your acting skills for new social media? Because I know your guys' generation is a lot less likely to just sit and watch TV. You're more likely to be looking on YouTube or social media. So we're focusing, we have this focus on the traditional and theatre, because theatre never dies. But then we also have this wonderful focus on new social medias and the different ways that you act and present and create content for that as well. So it's a pretty cool mix. Does anybody else want to tell me what they're interested in, or you guys can pipe up as we go through? It's completely up to you. Okay, I think we're a bit shy this morning, or maybe some of you just don't know what you want to do, and that's absolutely fine. Art and design is a huge subject. In the UK, an art and design student would usually do an art A-level, but before they go to university, they would usually do a foundation course in art and design. So I did history at university, and I went straight from high school to university, no problem. The reason that art and design students choose, because 95% of them choose to do it, they choose to do this foundation year, is because the difference between high school and university art and design is huge. It's enormous. You know, there's only so much that you can learn in high school, and then you get to university and you think, I want to do fine art, but that university has 4 different fine art courses. So how do you choose which one? Or I want to do fashion. UCA has about 15 different fashion courses. So how do you choose? That's why most UK students as well will do a foundation year. So there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want to do. Take your time. Loads of universities are doing online lectures, online workshops. So I know everyone is a bit bored of Zoom now, but try and take advantage of what universities are doing so you can really see, is this the program for me? Is this the thing that I want to study? And there's nothing wrong with asking us or bringing more questions. We're always happy to help. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Could you start? I think. Yeah.
We good? Should we start?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So this presentation is enormous, and I'm going to skip quite a lot of it. I don't know. There's also some information like course fees that I don't know yet. So this features last year's course fees. We do also have a lot of new courses starting in 2022. So we currently teach about 110 different art and design programs, and we're going up to 130. So there's even more next year, but I don't have the full list just yet. So this presentation is a little bit older now. Okay, all right, let me share my screen and we will get started. Okay, let's start it as a proper slideshow. Okay, and move you guys over. Okay, can you just give me a thumbs up? Can you see the presentation? Fabulous. Okay, all right, so my name is Felicity and I work at the University for the Creative Arts. So it's a lovely institute. Just for me, it's a really lovely place to work. I've worked in a few different universities, and UCA has been my favourite because of the way that we work with our academics. The UCA academics, they are so nice and they care so much about their students. It's just a pleasure to work with people who have that level of interaction with their students. And it's very cool to be surrounded by artwork and, you know, speak to Oscar winners and big film producers on a regular basis. So yeah, it's a cool place just for me personally to be. All right, so I'm going to show you a video. This is all student work by students for students. It's quite loud, sorry. Okay, so I love that video because it really shows what our students do. Unfortunately, it's a little bit old now because we weren't able to do a new one, obviously, in the last year, but we've got loads of new content coming. Okay, so what are creative careers? UCA really emphasizes getting a job at the end of your degree. It's really important for us to make sure that you are very employable after you graduate, because you could be the best artist in the world, but if you don't know how to tell people about your art and how to manage yourself, there's no point. So it's really important for us to teach you how to be an adult in the real world. And we've had students go and work in pretty much any job that you can think of. The creative industries in the UK are enormous. The creative economy is growing at nearly 5 times the rate of the wider UK economy. These are very specific UK statistics, but it's important for you to know so that you know what you'll be surrounded by when you're here. And you'll get to know, if you wanted to as well, you'll have the ability to stay after you graduate for a year or 2 just to work and enjoy yourself in the UK. So it's great to know that you can do that in a really thriving creative economy in the UK. So what do we teach you, and what jobs can you do? Now, it's really important for us to teach you, as I said, how to be an adult in the real world. We want to teach you time management, social skills, and confidence. We want you to be employable when you graduate. And you can see that most of the jobs in the creative economy are based down in the southeast of England where we are. So it's a really perfect location. Now, why UCA? So UCA is the #1 specialist creative university in the main league tables. So all those main league tables, if you're looking for a specialist art and design institution, we are #1. We're one of the top 5 modern universities in the UK, and our business school is also one of the best in the UK. So we're very, very proud of what we do. And we're also gold for teaching, which is very important. You know, it's a very high standard of teaching, and we want to make sure that you guys are comfortable in the classroom and you're confident with what you're learning. Now, where are we? Okay, so we are in the southeast of England. So it is definitely has the nicest weather in the whole of the UK, which is great. So we have 4 campuses. So we have Farnham, which is on the far left, Epsom, Rochester, and Canterbury. Now, all of these campuses, they're no more than an hour away from central London. A lot of people think that you need to be in central London to do art and design. The reality is that central London is medieval buildings, so very small old buildings. There's no space in central London. So at the central London universities, even in your 3rd year, you are having to fight for space in a studio. You are having to hot desk and move around. Whereas if you're out of London, you have the freedom to have a lot of space around you. So not much creativity actually happens in central London. Like the professional art and design industry, things might be sold in central London, but the reality is people have to come out of London to create because they don't have the space to create in the centre. So if you look on the left where we have Farnham, so Epsom we consider a London campus, it's on the edge of London. But if you look between Epsom and Farnham, this whole area is called the Creative Corridor. It's known to be like this golden triangle for art and design in the UK because there's loads of film studios around there. It's where the whole gaming industry is in the UK. It's a huge, thriving theatre and acting scene. So it's a really interesting place to be. And then if you look over on the right, Rochester and Canterbury, again, huge, thriving art scene. Rochester in particular is really interesting because you get a lot of, it's only a 30-minute direct train into East London, which is the cool part of London. So you have a lot of people selling things in central London, in East London, but then they come out to Rochester and that's where their actual creative centres are. And then Canterbury itself is known for art and design anyway. And there's also the Tate just down the road. So they have the this huge new art and design, not art and design, this huge new art gallery, which is just amazing. It's just incredible. Okay. So I'm just going to go over the campuses quickly. So Farnham is our biggest campus, but our smallest town. Huge campus, there's so much on here, loads of brand new accommodation as well. We have theatres, we have film studios, we have rooms that are just filled with print works for graphic design or textiles. The facilities here are just incredible. And Farnham itself is known as a art and design heritage town. It's a UNESCO art and design heritage town. Then we have Epsom. So Epsom's our business school and one of our schools for fashion. They work very collaboratively. So the fashion students know how to work in the real world with business people. A lot of the work our students do is very collaborative. They get to work with other people so they see how they work in the real world. And then Rochester. So Rochester is going to be closing in the future. It's a shame. It was a really cool campus. It was this great big building on top of the hill, but there's been some government cuts in funding, so we just decided that it didn't make sense to keep Rochester open. So all the courses currently at Rochester are going to move to our Epsom campus, which is awesome because we're going to keep all our academics. And just some of the images from Rochester. Then Canterbury. So Canterbury is our School of Architecture, which is commonly known as the Canterbury School of Architecture. It's our smallest campus, but it's in the biggest city. So there's 3 other universities in Canterbury and it's very studenty. There's lots of student life in Canterbury. It's a beautiful place to be. And then we have 2 other campuses. So Maidstone TV Studios is the UK's largest TV studio. And our students doing television production work here, they study and work here, so they are working on TV shows from the very beginning of their studies, which is really cool. And then the Royal School of Needlework is where students do very detailed hand embroidery. So the students at the Royal School of Needlework, they did all the hand embroidery for Kate Middleton's wedding dress, for Meghan Markle's. They do a lot of haute couture and fashion as well. So it's a very unique course. Okay, our student union has won loads of awards. There's anything that you can imagine. So there's a huge mix of things, which is great. If there's something that you're really passionate about, then we will help you to set that up. Of course, our library and our student services are there to support our students, and we have a special group just for our international students. So we'll walk you through everything and make sure that the journey is really easy for you. But what do we do? So as I said, we're going to be doing 130 different programs going into next year. So there's a massive, massive variety of things that you can study. And so we like to say that, you know, we probably do 5 different versions of the subject that you're interested in studying. And then we probably do 3 or 4 different courses that you've never heard of before in your subject. So there's so much that you can do, but we will help you to find the right program for you. Basically, if there's something in art and design that you can think of, we do it. All right. We have the business school for the creative industries. So we're really proud of the business school. All of the undergraduate programs in the business school, you can take an extra year if you want to. You can do a year in professional practice. a lot of our other programs as well, you will be able to do a year in professional practice if you want to. So that would make your course a 4-year course rather than a 3-year course. I know you guys are undergraduate, so I'm not going to talk too much about the postgraduate programs. Let me just flick through. So I know you have the lovely Yumiko who will help you with everything, but when you do make your application, you'll do it online. It's dead simple. In terms of basic academic requirements, so we're more than happy to take your, hold on, let me just, so we're more than happy to take your foundation. That's not a problem. We know that your school is wonderful. We will ask to see your portfolio. So with your portfolio, I've never seen a bad portfolio from you guys. So be confident in what you're doing. For our portfolios, we usually ask for about 15 to 20 pages, and we want to see projects. Projects is the most important thing for us. Because projects really show us how you develop as a person. For acting and performance courses, you will need to send a slightly different kind of portfolio. We need to see monologues, so you speaking to camera, and we would need to see show reels if you have any, and a CV. So it's slightly different if you're doing acting, because we want to see your acting ability. It's the same if you're doing one of the music production and composition courses as well. So with the music production and composition, they, again, will need to see a show reel, will need to see your ability to actually make music. So most of it's going to be a book kind of portfolio or a PDF, but certain courses require us to actually see you and see what you can do. Now, for English language, we generally ask for a 6.0 in IELTS with no less than 5.5. So don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. And there's loads of different tests that you can take. So it doesn't have to just be IELTS. There's loads of much easier, much cheaper ones to do too. And that full list, sorry, that full list is on our website. We do have pre-sessional English language courses if you want them. It's always a great way to just help you with that last little bit of English and make sure that you feel confident in your art and design English abilities. These were our international fees for this year. So we're about just under £17,000 for our undergraduate courses. Nearly all of our Japanese students, well, nearly all of our international students this year have been offered scholarships. So they nearly all had a scholarship of £3,000. And the same scholarships will be available next year. So definitely apply for a scholarship when you apply to UCA, because we want to give you guys scholarships. Accommodation fees are not as expensive as London, nowhere near expensive as London, but they are more expensive than somewhere like Birmingham. So you have to make that decision about your finances. Unfortunately, you know, you do pay to be in the southeast of England because that's where everything is happening. But the costs aren't too bad. I've seen much more expensive ones around us. And yeah, scholarships. So there's loads of scholarships available. There's early bird deposit payments, the £3,000 scholarships. You get a 4% discount if you pay your fees early. If you progress into other programs, you get extra discounts too. So there's lots of different things available. But what I'm going to do is just flick through and tell you about some of our graduates, because I think that's the best thing to tell you about. So if you can think of a big name, if you can think of a big famous company, then we have either sent a student to work there, or we currently work with them, or we do some collaborative work with them. We've had students go and work everywhere from Apple to the Tate Modern to Gucci. There's so many different places that our students go, and it's really cool for me because I get to see the students work all the time, and I see their work on television a lot, and I love to tell people, oh, that's one of our students, they did that. We recently had our students were exhibiting in the Selfridges window in Oxford Street. So our students' work was just there for the world to see, which was great. So very, very visible alumni. And our alumni are very generous with their time. They come back to the university. They have our students do projects. They have students work with them. They take students for internships and after they've graduated as well. So our alumni are very actively involved with the university still. Now here we have a couple of different students. So up on the top left, this was one of our fashion students. He's now a fashion buyer at Marks and Spencer's. Victor Wong with the sunglasses. He was the first person to ever launch a sunglasses range at London Fashion Week. And he's done a new sunglasses range every year. Really big in the sunglasses world. Then we have interior design students who work at big luxury hotels. Of course, I'm sure you guys probably recognize the picture down at the bottom on the left, Star Wars. Because of where things are filmed in the UK, we sent loads of students to look at, we sent loads of students to work on Harry Potter and then to work on Star Wars and Game of Thrones. So we're very, very involved in all the recording that happens in the UK. We've sent students to work on every single Marvel film, and the latest Marvel series, Loki, was directed and produced by one of our students. So we're very big in the MCU universe. All right, then we have students who've won lots of fashion, London Graduate Fashion Week, students who've won game design awards, ceramic awards, and then students, Billy Jacobini, she shows at Jakarta Fashion Week every year, and students who've won big graphic design and lighting awards. It's awesome. They're good kids. We're very proud of them. Then students who've designed jewelry for the Queen. We have lots of craft work. So we do lots of ceramics and metal work and glass, which is very unique now. There's not many places that you can actually do that in the UK. So if you're looking at crafts, we are a great place to study. Now, some of our biggest alumni, okay, our most famous, the most famous thing to come out of UCA. So UCA, we regularly win top fashion awards. We have 12, 13 Oscars to our name. We've won the Turner Modern Art Prize, but the most famous alumni of all is Peppa Pig. We love Peppa Pig. This is the most famous thing that we've produced. And Matt Baker is lovely. Again, he spends a lot of time at the university, takes a lot of students to go and work with the Peppa Pig franchise. We also had created Hey Dougie, which is a big kids TV show. Where's Wally? One of our students directed Star Wars Rogue One, which is really cool. And big UK TV shows as well. Our previous chancellor was Sandra Rhodes, who was a huge influential fashion designer, really incredibly important. And again, lots of Star Wars and big TV shows in the UK. All right, so I am going to stop talking because I've been talking for far too long now and you guys might be bored of me. So what questions do you have? What would you guys like to know? That's the important thing.
はい、こんなチャンスはないんでね、ぜひ、質問して、ゆうひくんあるね、どうぞ。 Hi, there is a question from Yuki.
Fabulous.
So I have one question, which is there any chance to collaborate with other courses students?
Absolutely. That's a huge part of what we do. So in the real world, you don't work by yourself. So we want to make sure from the very beginning that you are collaborating with people on your course and people from different programs as well. So you do a lot of group projects on your programs so that you understand the different roles in a group project. And then you do lots of collaboration with different courses because, you know, in the real world, if you're creating a TV show, you're going to work with actors, producers, screenwriters, the music composition students, the graphic design students. So from the very beginning, we emphasize collaboration to make sure that you understand how the real world works, and you feel comfortable in all different roles. And it's why our students are so employable after they graduate. You know, businesses want our students, which we love, which we're very pleased with.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, is there anything else that I can tell you guys? Is it the end of the day today? Oh, yeah, please, Sora.
I have a question one. So if I were business student and during study, I want to study art course. Can I study two courses same time?
It depends. So it depends which business program you choose. So a lot of our business programs will have, well, our whole business school is focused on the creative industries. If you do BA business management, you will be a little bit less creative. You know, you won't be the person that is creating art and design. You would work with a graphic designer or a fashion student. But if you're doing something like fashion business or branding and innovation, you would still be a creative student. Even though you're a business student, you would still be a creative student. So we would really encourage you to do art, to continue your creative projects as part of your degree. And if you want, you can also go, it's called auditing. You go to classes for other courses too. But if there is a subject, if there is a technical skill that you want to learn, our technicians are there to help you. We have a huge group. So we have our academics, then we have people like me who just do the administration side of things. But then we have our technicians, and the technicians are the people that really keep everything going. They're probably the most important people at the university. The technicians are the ones that can show you how all our amazing equipment will work, not just for students on your course and the material, and the facilities for your course, but they could show you how to use, I don't know, the fashion printing, some of our best cameras. It's not restricted by course. You can learn anything you want from our technicians, and they regularly do loads of different workshops. They did some really cool things over lockdown as well. You know, we had students on our business programs learning how to make ceramics with bubbles and balloons. So yeah, there's a massive range of things that you can learn from the technicians.
Hi, Phyllis. There's a one report from the former student. He is studying the fashion management. This is a first work there. It's kind of the research paper there. Normally we think that the research paper is just words, but for the UCA, it's really special on the creative thing. So students submit these kind of the report for the classes. It's really lovely for me.
Yeah, it's great to see our business students being creative as well, because this is what businesses want. Businesses don't want boring, traditional business students. They want students who can be creative. They want students who are innovative. If you look at Apple and Google, you know, even SpaceX, they're not traditional businesses. They are innovative, and that's what we want from our students. This is awesome. This is much better than anything I did in university. Okay, all right. What else would you like to know? Do you guys have any other questions? Okay, I think it's quite late in the day there, isn't it? So
Not so. It's kind of the sunny days. We have a sunny
oh,
we have a sun. 学生の皆さん、課題書かなきゃいけないよね。埋めなきゃいけないポイントって全部キャッチできましたか？されてない場合は、ぜひそういうポイントでね、質問していただいてもいいですし、自分が学びたい分野がね、あるかどうかって聞いてもらうのもいいと思います。大丈夫？
yeah,
Hyra
yeah,
san.
please. I can't say your name. Is it Hyra? Is that how you say it, Hyra?
Hyra. So, are there 3 graphic design courses?
Yes.
Can I study 2 graphic design courses? Only one?
Only one, because they're on different campuses. So there's a graphic design course in Farnham, Epsom and Canterbury.
Yes.
The graphic design course in Epsom is a bit more business and commercial focused. Farnham tends to be a little bit more traditional graphic design, a lot of typography, and then the Canterbury graphic design is very fine art focused. So the Canterbury campus is a very fine art campus. So we have all the different campuses because we used to be 4 different art and design colleges, and then as we've grown to become a university, we've kept all those colleges, and we wanted to keep courses available on every campus for local students. So it is weird, we know, but that's why we have the same course on multiple different campuses. So yeah, it really depends what you want to do. You know, you choose the campus, you choose the course. Each campus as well is really unique. So Farnham town is small and cute. The campus is enormous. And then Epsom is London, but the campus is a little bit smaller. We get lots of commuting students as well. And then Canterbury, again, the campus is small, but the city is really big. So it's a cool city. If you're not ready for London, but you want a big city, Canterbury could be a good idea.
Should I choose before the foundation?
No, you don't need to choose then. No. Well, the foundation course is changing at UCA a little bit next year. But I don't know how just yet, because at the moment for our foundation course, you just do the foundation, and you do loads of different things, and then you choose the different course you want to do at the end of it. But what we're probably changing to is something called an integrated foundation. So you will still choose to do lots of different things. So you will still study lots of different things. But when you apply for our foundation, you will also need to choose which undergraduate degree you want to do. In reality, that can change. That's not a problem. We can change that very easily if you if you start your foundation and then decide, actually, I hate graphic design, I want to change to fashion. That's no problem. We're changing to this integrated foundation because it makes the visas much easier for you guys. At the moment, you have to do 2 visa applications, but this way means that you only do 1 visa application for the whole time, which is great.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. And Yumiko, I know that might be a surprise.
Yeah. But
because
it might be good for the student, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of the through package for the foundation and undergraduate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So
again,
usually, yeah.
I still don't know all the details.
Okay. 通常はね、ビザ申請するときに、ファンデーション、それから大学っていう2回イギリスの場合はビザのアプライしなきゃいけないんだけども、それをね、一発でファンデーションから大学まで3でできるようなプランを考えてるみたいです。いずれにせよ UCA はとても学生思いな学校の一つだと私は理解しているので、皆さんにとって素敵な感じで仕上げてくれるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
Okay, fabulous. Does anybody else have any questions? Is there anything else you guys would like to know?
私はこんな、はい。あきらちゃん、あきかちゃんね。ごめんね。
My name is Akika. I have a question. So I like dancing. So I like to learn about theater or performing arts, but I never take the ballet class. So is it fine to apply or go to the UCA?
Yeah, don't worry about ballet. Ballet is a very different thing. It's our acting and performance, we do, if you want, you don't have to, but we do a little bit of musical theatre. So if you are interested in dance or singing, that can be an element of your studies. But no, we would never require ballet. Ballet is very difficult. It's a very different thing and it ruins your feet. So yeah, definitely normal dance is great. It's not a requirement, but if you have it, that's great because it does give you other options as well.
Okay, thank you.
Fab.
はい。他の皆さんはどう？私こんなことに興味あるんだけどみたいな聞いてみてください。せっかくなんでね。はい。みのりちゃん。
Hello, I'm Minori.
Hi.
I'm interested in music management.
Cool.
So it's included in course of business or music.
Yeah, so music management is in the business school, but you work very closely with the music composition and technology students. So our music management course is a huge range of different kinds of music. You know, it's everything from pop music to traditional classical music, but you also do a lot of the music management for television and film. So you guys will look at things like Foley and creating sounds for music. So you understand, everyone thinks that music management is just pop music. But if you think about every television show and every movie or every game that you play, they all have music and sounds within it. So they also need music business people to help create that. So there's a big range of things that you're looking at too. So it's a really nice diversity in the program. And as well, because a lot of music management courses only focus on pop, it means that there's a lot of people looking for the same jobs. But then with the film and television industry, they are desperate for music managers. So our music management students are again very employable because they fill a niche that no one else does. So yeah, it's cool. It's a good course. I mean, obviously pop is great fun, but we need music and management for other things as well.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I hope that helps.
他の皆さんはどう？
Yes.
はい、ありがとう。
Yeah, my name is Hannah.
Hi.
Hi, and I'm interested in acting. So
Mhm.
I want to take acting course, but I've never experienced act. So, but you said if I want to take acting course, I should apply the skill of my acting video. So is it possible to even I've never experienced acting?
It is definitely, yes. So every student is different. If you have a long history of acting and if you have a show reel, that's great.
Mm.
But not every student does. You know, there are some places in the world where if you do acting in high school, I mean, there's literally no way you can do acting in high school. So we don't make show reels a requirement. What we would need from you is monologues. So we would need 2 monologues. So a monologue is where you're talking to camera. You know, it's just one person's long speech, you're talking to camera. Most people do Shakespeare for one of them, or something very traditional like I can't think of a single playwright. I've studied this. They usually do Shakespeare for one of them, or a very traditional play. And then the second one is usually a lot more modern. Sometimes it's things that the student themselves have written. So it's a good mix. So that's what we would need from you. And we would also want to see a really good personal statement. So why do you want to do acting? Why do you think it is the thing for you? Why are you passionate about it? And why haven't you been able to study it previously?
Yes, thank
I
you.
hope that helps. But yeah,
May I
don't
add?パーソナルステートメントに関しては、10月の末から11月ぐらいにかけてね、マイケル先生がすべての学生さんにセッションしてくれることになっているので、その要素を盛り込んで書いてもらえればいいです。Yeah, we will conduct a personal statement workshop from Michael.
Fabulous. Yeah. Your personal statement is just about you. So your personal statement, you're telling us what you how do you understand the subject? Why do you want to study the subject? And what you want to do in the future? You know, I don't care if you've had a Saturday job working at 7-Eleven. I really don't care. But I would rather you tell us your passion for what you want to study.
Okay.
Okay. I like your glasses, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. 他の方いかがでしょうか。朝日さんとかどう？
私ですか? Okay, I have questions.
Yeah.
I'm interested in filmmaking, shooting,
Cool.
and I want to know that about it, please.
Yeah. So we do a film, well, we do two different things. We do film production and we do television production. They're very similar. You will learn everything from how to hold a camera, how to actually be a cameraman, to how to write, how to do screenplays, and how to direct and produce. On this program in particular, you do a lot of group work. And in that group work, everyone takes a different role. So in the first year, everyone's trying to do different things and see what they like. So in the first year, you will try lots of different kinds of roles. And then usually in the second year, people feel a bit more comfortable with, do I want to be a producer or do I want to be a director? So you have groups that naturally form and do a lot of projects together. Of course, you do work by yourself as well, but the group projects are really important. With film in particular, we tell a lot of stories. It's very important for us to tell stories, tell people's stories. We do a lot of documentary films and we've won a lot of awards for documentary filmmaking because it's very important for us to tell people's stories in an artistic way. But at the same time, we've won lots and lots of Oscars for animation. You can see that we've sent students to work on big Hollywood TV shows. So yes, we are documentary focused and very artistic, but we are also very commercial in our approach. You know, we want students to be employable at the end of it, not just a starving artist. With film production, we have 2 big film studios on our Farnham campus, but then you will also go and do real world projects in the big film studios surrounding us. So you will work with industry and you'll go and work on location as well. So as I said, we've had loads of students working on the Marvel films, and back in the day we did Gladiator, because a lot of it is filmed really close to us. So lots of different things you can do for film. And then television production is in Maidstone. So that's a separate campus, but it is, again, you're working on big British TV shows from your first year. So it's cool. You work on it and then you're watching TV and you're like, that was me, I did that. So yeah, it's all about being hands-on and making sure that you get that work experience before you graduate. But again, very collaborative, very industry focused.
Thank you.
Oh, and a lot of the film production students as well also work with the animation students. We've had a lot of really big animation winners, big noted, big important animations. We beat Frozen 2 and Toy Story 4 for a BAFTA, which was quite cool. So yeah, lots of collaboration between film and animation as well.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else want to know anything?
大丈夫そうかな? Hi, thank you very much, Phyllis. Yeah,
My pleasure.
I forgot to introduce Felice, but she is a person who are working with us, NIC, so long. And she is helping to managing that to accept our foundation school to business, business subjects. So, so she is really nice person.そう、and NIC のね、卒業生もね、一人今先ほどのファッションビジネスで学んでいる学生さんがいまして、一人今、ファンデーションで学んでいる学生さんいます。今年3人、学生さんが、3人かな。そのファンデーションの学生さんを含めると4人の学生さんが今年の9月から大学に進学する予定ということで、なんていうのかな。ビジネスもビジネスだけど、よりクリエイティブな分野で、研究というよりはより実社会で使えるようなビジネスを学びたい、クリエイティブな世界で学びたいっていうビジネスの人には向いてますし、よりね、そういうアート系にフォーカスして勉強したいっていう学生さんにはとても向いてる学校だと思います。私がびっくりしたのは、I went there, there is a kind of the knitting, not knitting, knitting なのかな、織物をしているね、学生さんがいて、機織り機をやってるの、バタンバタンで、鶴の恩返しに出てくるようなね、オールドタイプの、機織り機から最先端のものまで全て揃っているという形で学んでくれる学校。そういうのはね、今までいろいろ学校を見てきたけれども、初めての学校だったんで、いや、本当にアート系で学ぶにはとてもふさわしい学校だなと思っています。じゃあまあそういうことでね、これからまたチャンスがあればフェリスさん先生にね、もう一度おいでいただいてお話しいただくことも可能かと思いますので、ぜひ興味ある方は候補として考えていただくとよろしいかと思います。最後にね、フェリス先生に拍手で終わりにしたいと思います。Thank you, Felice.
Thank you, guys. Well, hopefully we will be able to see you in person at some point in the future. We're pretty much, it's weird in the UK. We have a big rise in case numbers of COVID, but because we're all double vaccinated, no one's really getting sick or dying. So it looks really bad, but it just feels like you've got a cold now. So yeah. So fingers crossed we'll be able to travel one day and see you. Okay, thank you guys. Stay safe and hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. はい、学生の皆さん、今の話って分かったかな？